Welcome to the Privacy News Online Weekly Recap, where we bring you the latest privacy news stories from around the world. My name is Brian Tong, and I am your host. Here's the latest from Privacy News Online. TikTok and WeChat banned in US. American users need a VPN. The US Department of Commerce has issued an order to essentially ban Chinese apps TikTok and WeChat, though the move has since been temporarily halted by a judge's order. Additionally, the approval of TikTok's sale to Oracle should also keep it from being banned. Now, if removed from Google and Apple apps, users will have to sideload the app or use a VPN to access the App Store from another country. Those that have the app installed already will still be able to use it. However, the order is expected to eventually cause connectivity and reliability issues. And we all know how important those TikTok dances are. Woo! Researchers were able to figure out which American phone numbers use Signal. Whenever you sign up for a new messaging app, Contact Discovery lets you know which of your friends are already using that app so you can start chatting right away. The way that apps like Telegram, WhatsApp, and Signal do Contact Discovery has privacy flaws. Chief among them is the fact that an attacker can enumerate users. That's when they use Contact Discovery to test whether certain numbers are registered or not. AT&T to offer ad-supported phone plans where you give up privacy for $5 to $10. In a recent interview with Reuters, AT&T's CEO John Stankey revealed that the phone company plans to offer ad-supported phone plans that are cheaper but significantly less private. That doesn't quite pass the smell test. Now, the ad-supported plans would cost less because you'd be agreeing to let AT&T track what you do on your phone. And if that sounds like a deal with the devil, that's because it is. Now, Stankey said these plans will be offered within the next few years, and I won't be using them. So, P&O wants to know, how much of a discount would you need to sacrifice your privacy and why? Comment below and your comment could be read during next week's episode. If we read your comment, you'll get 1 month of free VPN service from private internet access so you can bypass censorship on the internet. Now, last week, we asked you, should social media platforms be forced to police and censor their content to avoid legal trouble? And this was our favorite answer. No. All actions, including speech, are taken by individuals. No individual is responsible for the actions of others unless those actions are made by children or by the mentally deficient. Furthermore, no individual holds any right to avoid offense. Thanks @ActorIsMe for sharing your answer, and since we read your comment, you will be receiving 1 month of free VPN subscription to private internet access. Now, definitely try PIA's innovative next-gen VPN network. It has increased security, it's faster, and is better for streaming. And to use it, all you have to do is update to the latest version of the PIA VPN app. Let's check out the latest cybersecurity news from Josh, a cybersecurity expert from Intego, developers of award-winning security software.
Here are this week's top cybersecurity stories, brought to you by Intego. A serious flaw has been found in older versions of Firefox for Android. The bug lets anyone on the same Wi-Fi network hijack Firefox for Android and redirect the browser to malicious sites. To stay safe, Android users must upgrade to the latest version of Firefox. Another week, another Bluetooth vulnerability. Billions of devices are reportedly vulnerable to Blisa, a Bluetooth LE spoofing attack. Unlike most Bluetooth security bugs, Blisa exploits an implementation flaw in the reconnection process that normally occurs when Bluetooth devices come back in range of each other. You should be safe from Blisa if you're running the latest version of Windows or iOS. However, there's currently no fix for Android or certain IoT devices. That's it for now. Back to you, Brian.
Thank you, Josh, for that. And to learn more about Intego, check out the links below. Now, back to more privacy news. Latest developments in the long-running and crucial Schrems versus Facebook GDPR privacy battle. Max Schrems has been fighting a privacy battle in court with Facebook for 7 years now. Most recently, Ireland's Data Privacy Commission has warned Facebook that sending information on European users to American soil might need to stop. Even though this sounds like a good thing, the Data Privacy Commission's word is unlikely to change how Facebook processes the private information of Europeans. Facebook is now arguing that sending data overseas is a necessity and GDPR complaint. Companies can track your phone's movements to target ads. As smartphone makers are finally waking up to privacy concerns of ad tracking and starting to require user consent to be tracked across services, ad companies now need a new way to target ads. Of course they do. Now, there are a handful of companies that are hoping for a revival of contextual advertising. This time, the context is how you move your phone. Now, changes in your phone's accelerometer readings can be used to infer what you're doing, whether that's running, picking up your phone for the first time after waking up, or entering a PIN. And I don't know a single person that wants this to happen. Experts say internet shutdowns don't thwart protests. Some governments around the world, like Belarus and Ethiopia, have taken to shutting down internet access during times of political unrest in a naive attempt to thwart protesters from organizing. Researchers have taken a close look at instances of internet shutdowns and have confirmed what we already know: internet shutdowns don't thwart protests. In fact, they might just add more fuel to the fire. And hey, believe it or not, we can still function without the internet, just like we used to. Now it's time for Privacy Talks. Privacy Talks brings you interviews between Privacy News Online's Caleb Chen and influencers, activists, and experts from pro-privacy organizations around the world. Now let's go to Caleb, who recently caught up with Micah Lee from TheIntercept to talk about whistleblowing, journalism, and the security required when they intersect. Check out the link in the description to watch the full interview, but for now, let's check out the highlight reel.
So while I was at EFF, some other people at EFF and me founded a new organization called Freedom of the Press Foundation. And I ended up being basically building the website and all of the technical infrastructure for that organization. And then just about a month or so after Freedom of the Press Foundation launched, that's when Edward Snowden was starting to leak his documents. And then I kind of had a role in that. He anonymously reached out to me. I didn't know who he was. But he wanted me to, he noticed that I use PGP, email encryption, and he was pretty sure that Laura Poitras did too, and he knew that Glenn Greenwald didn't, and he wanted my help basically getting their public keys, verifying them, teaching Glenn Greenwald how to use encryption and things like that. I didn't know who he was, but I helped anyway, and so I kind of did a lot of tech support around that whole act of whistleblowing. And so then when Laura Poitras and Glenn Greenwald started TheIntercept, they hired me to do security.
Check out the link in the description to learn more about TheIntercept and read their work. Now you're up to date on the latest privacy and cybersecurity news. Privacy News Online is brought to you by Private Internet Access, the award-winning no-log VPN service who reminds you to always use protection. Now, whether you use the internet to stream, torrent, or just browse, a VPN subscription from Private Internet Access will hide your IP address and location, block ads, malware, and trackers, and it will even unblock geo-restricted content so you can stream your favorite shows wherever you are in the world. Don't wait another second. Sign up for Private Internet Access now and get up to 2 months free using the link below, where you can also find a link to learn more about all the stories in this week's Privacy News Online. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. I'm Brian Tong, and we'll see you next week.